Lecture here or lesson here on how to use RMarkdown. If anyone is curious about that, it's a way to make reproducible research. It's a way to combine tech, if you know tech, you don't have to, R code that runs along with text. So this is RStudio, and let's see, click here on RStudio. And what I'm going to do is first go up to File, to New File, and go down to RMarkdown. I have to give it a name, so I'll give it, oh, why not? Something that's going to appear at the top of the RMarkdown document. So, lesson, how's that sound? Now, you'll see I'm going to get, now it gives an example one with some code, but I'm just going to supply code. So I'm going to get rid of this whole bit right here and just keep the top part. So this says the title, author, date, and it's going to output an HTML document, which I can convert to PDF if I wish. I'll show you how. And this I'm just going to leave alone, leave a little description. So from here on down is my R document. So one thing you can do is text. So I'll show a few text things. You can just type. Let's see what that looks like. Every time I'm done, I'm going to go up here to knit, hit knit. Now the first time I do it, it's going to want me to save it somewhere. So how about RMarkdown lesson? I'll put this in, why not in the desktop? Okay, yeah, that works. Or I could put it in our, there we go, 300. Okay. So it'll say, this is the exciting document, it says lesson there, and there's some text right there. So you can just type paragraphs of text if you want, with a space between them. However, here's a few things you can do very quickly. So while you're typing in text, you can make things italics. You can make things bold by putting a double star around them. Another one, you can do strikes throughs by doing a couple dashes afterwards. Let's see what those look like. Italics, bold, strike through. So I can do that anywhere in text. Okay, let's look at what it looks like. I'll knit it. Creating text here. Okay. So those are some special effects. You can make headers. Now you do this with the pound one. Boldest header is just one single one. Two of them is not so big. If I do three, which is the usual size I do, that's smaller. 4 is smaller yet. Let's see what that looks like. So there's various types of headings. So you can always do a heading like here's there. This is a problem. I can do that. So far what I've just showed you is you can make italics, bold, and strike through into your text. I don't like the looks of that strike through. Various types of bold headings. Some things don't show up too well in the HTML and have to end up in the PDF to show up correctly. Hate to say. Okay, and those are all text things. There you can do block quotes. By putting that little symbol there, see, and then it goes, this is a block of text, and notice it has a little gray line here that is indented. So essentially you can type a bunch of text with headers. You can do things with, you can make itemized lists. By doing a single star in front of them. Let's see what that looks like. And then one other, and you can even make sub items by doing a plus, couple space and a plus. Let's look what that looks like. Okay, pretty snappy. And the same thing, you can make numbered lists. And of course, you can always go back and edit these all you want. Okay, there's a first and second numbered list with dotted items afterwards. So you can make lists that way. And finally, you can make tables. So let's say I have a table. You first column, and then you do a line like that. Then I do a series of just dotted lines, and I put right there. Make sure they're nice vertical. And then I can do things like this. So I can say like 12, 15, high, 22. You know, you just make a table. Let's see what it looks like. Ends up looking like that. It can be customized a little bit more. So again, these are all ways to make text, and I can just, for the most part, just type away. Now for this fancy things. Other things you can add to text are you can put tech. If anyone happens to know tech, it's a way of typesetting equations. You can put it inline anywhere. So this is an equation. You put dollar signs on both sides. If you know tech, that's fine. If you don't need to use it. Like integral of x f of x dx and integral. So that's tech. See what it looks like? See that right there? This is an equation, f of f dx. It's an integral. You can also do centered equations by doing a double dollar sign on both sides. So single dollar sign on both sides works great inside texts inline. If you want something just floating out there, again, if you don't know tech, that's fine. You can ignore this. Let's look what that looks like. See down there, there's an equation that's checked out. Okay. Finally, the best part is you can add, and by the way, it'll show you what the tech is supposed to look like right here when you put it in, so you can see if you're doing it correctly. And finally, R, that runs. That's exciting. To do R that runs, you can do both inline code, so you're just typing away a paragraph like text. Oh, how about this? The usual value is, and then you put this, you put this on the upper left-hand corner of your keyboard. You do R, and then you do any equation, any R code you want to calculate right into there. And you can create variables and use them later, but here I'll just do something here. Let's see, sine of 12. And then I'll just close it off. Put a period. Now this thing right here inside those little quotes, not really quotes, but tick marks, is actually run. So let's take a look at it. The usual value is minus that. So any R code can be put in the middle of a paragraph in text. The best thing is you can also have R code that stands by itself. What you do is you do 3 tick marks, and then in brackets you do R space, and you have to give each chunk of code a name. So I'll just call this first and close it with 3. And then you just put all the R code you want. So you can say mu equals 3, sigma equals 4, And then you put a data set, maybe x equals c, 1, 2, 3, 5. You can do calculations, you can do R code, just any general R code. Oh, median. How about a median? And then, anytime I hit knit, it actually runs that R code. There it is. So you have chunks of code and you have the output. So the idea is you can mix text, running R code that you can modify at any time, along with occasional equations if you want in tech. I'll try to show you some that I've created for like homework assignments and so on. But that's just about it. There are a few commands you can use. So let's recopy this. It's going to need a new paragraph name. Let's put the equation here and I'm going to simulate some random variables. So rnorm, let's do 1,000 normals and do a histogram of them. Now when I have a histogram, sometimes I want to control its size. So one way is fig height. About 7 is the default. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. Okay, so this is regulating the height and the width of the histogram. Oops, I have to give it a new name because it's the second block of R. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. There's your R code. There's your histogram. A couple other commands that can go in here include echo. If you say echo equals false, default is true. If you say echo equals false, it won't show the code you ran, just the output. Notice, it just shows the output. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can if you want to hide the code from somebody. And another one other than echo is eval. Is just the opposite. If the default is true, if you say false, what that'll do is show the code but won't let it run. So if you want to show the code for a really complicated equation, but you want to not have it run immediately, you can do that. So that's all there is doing an RMarkdown document. When you're finished, wherever you've saved it, you can open it in a browser to get HTML output. There you go. And you can even go export this as a PDF if you wish. So that's all there is to doing RMarkdown. I'll again store some examples and put a RMarkdown cheat sheet in course materials. All right, thank you.